This is an Airbus A321-200, which is part of the Turkish Airlines fleet. Where Turkish Airlines operates wide-body aircraft on many of its flights to Amsterdam, this time they're using a narrow-body. Boarding is about to start, and as is quite often the case, there are continuous calls for volunteers to check in a piece of hand luggage. These calls are a sign that the flight is quite full. Turkish Airlines operates 4 daily flights, and as you can see on the right, the plane for this afternoon's flight is already there. It is a rather long jet bridge, but here at the end, 2 crew members are welcoming passengers on board. And here you see just one of the reasons why I like Turkish Airlines. No so-called European business class, but proper seats. And even though there are not lie-flat seats, they are much more spacious than what most other European airlines offer. Departing from Amsterdam, Istanbul is around 1350 miles to the southeast, and this distance will be covered in around 2.5 to 3 hours. Turkish Airlines offers welcome drinks before takeoff. The choice is between juices, water or champagne. There is a small delay in pushback and takeoff, so the crew decide to already hand out the menus. Let's have a look. It is what you would expect on a Turkish Airlines flight. A starter, a choice between 3 main courses, some cheeses and dessert. And while finished showing you the menu, the safety video is started. Shortly after, we're on our way. Once airborne, let me show you around my seat on this Airbus A321. What you will notice is that it isn't the standard European business class you see on most other airlines. The seat pocket holds the usual suspects like the safety card, air sickness bag, and in this case, a headphone. As you can see, there is plenty of space, very similar to Royal Air Maroc. In the middle armrest, you can pull out a table for some drinks. It also holds the IFE remote control and also the IFE screen. On the other side is where they've hidden the table. With right below it, the seat controls. Moving a little down, you will find a universal power outlet. And below the left armrest, they've placed a USB charger, an outlet that I couldn't identify, and a connector for the headphone. I mentioned that the IFE screen is under the middle armrest. It is now to check out if it works. Let's turn it on and then select the language. As I flip through it, you can see that the system is quite responsive, and for a 3-hour flight it has more than you could watch, from documentaries to TV shows and music. I would say that everyone can find something to watch. Now that we're above the eastern part of Germany, it is time for the dinner service to start. The starter, the cheese and dessert are all served on a tray with the tablecloth over the tray. Where I prefer the tablecloth to be on the actual table, it is the food that matters. On other Turkish Airlines flights that I've been on, the food is generally very good. This flight would be turned out to be no exception. It was delicious. This plane has onboard Wi-Fi. The speed is good enough and definitely for pointless things like checking up on your own flight on Flight Radar. As we start our descent into Istanbul, I have to say I wasn't sure what to expect on a Turkish Airlines narrow-body aircraft. Really, the only thing that is different compared to a wide-body plane is the fact that there aren't any lie-flat seats. Now for this 3-hour flight, this doesn't make it any less comfortable though. The food and the service are what you can expect it on a Turkish Airlines flight. The food is really good and the service turned out to be very friendly and professional. The crew was initially a little bit cold, but they quickly defrosted and turned out to be fantastic. In terms of pricing, they match the competition, and please do not let the lack of lie-flat seats stop you from choosing Turkish Airlines. Other airlines offer less room, so this is a great choice. For now, I thank you for watching and hope to see you again soon.